So then guys, I've had the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge for over a month now, and it's Samsung's thinnest flagship phone ever. Seriously, this thing is only 5.8 millimeters thick, what's absolutely crazy when you think about it. But it's just not Samsung who are just making these kind of thin phones. Apple are looking to make their own thin phone, like this one right here, and this will be known as the iPhone 17 Air, but this one will only be 5.5 millimeters thick. So today, I want to walk you through what it's actually like living with a super thin phone with the S25 Edge and whether thin phones are really worth it, especially compared to what Apple might be doing with the 17 Air like we've got here of this dummy model. So first up, design. And yeah, this is crazy thin like I said. It's just 5.8 millimeters thick and weighing only 163 grams. The Galaxy S25 Edge feels like it also disappears in your pockets. It's got a titanium frame, Gorilla Glass ceramic on both sides, and a really slick matte finish. All I'll say is you can tell this is Samsung trying to make a design statement right here. Now we're expecting the iPhone 17 Air to be even thinner, like I said, possibly around 5.5 millimeters thick. Apple's likely going for a flat edge design similar to the old iPhone 5 design, but modernized. But here's the thing, once you put a case on either of these phones, the thinness, well, it kind of loses its edge. Well, excuse the pun there. But you're probably wondering, if Samsung and Apple are making such thin phones, how's battery life on something like this? Well, the S25 Edge has a 3,900 milliamp battery, and in my testing, that gave me around about 4 to 4.5 hours of screen on time, not standby time, and that's fine for casual use. But if you're watching a lot of videos, or let's say playing a lot of games with this, you'll need to recharge this by dinner time. It charges at 25 watts wired and also 15 watts wireless, so it's not the fastest, but you know, it gets the job done, and having that smaller battery, well, that does help to actually speed it along too. But then what I'm going to say is, based on leaks, the iPhone 17 Air may even have just a 2,800 milliamp battery inside of it. So while Apple's software is optimized and it's usually great and the chip's normally really good too, I'd still expect, if not worse, battery performance compared to the S25 Edge. But moving on from that, we've covered how thin this phone is, and we've covered, you know, the actual battery life, but you're probably wondering to know, what about these cameras on the back here? Well, the camera setup on the S25 Edge is a bit of a mixed bag, I'm going to be honest. You do get the 200 megapixel main sensor, and that is brilliant, but you also just get a simple 12 megapixel ultra wide. And yeah, that main camera, like I said, is sharp. Daylight photos are crisp, colourful, and really clean, as you can see here. And with just the normal kind of sort of cropping kind of zoom, they're quite good. But like I said, there's no dedicated telephoto lens. Instead, Samsung uses that crop zoom, and yeah, like I said, it's okay. And up to 2 times is usable, but beyond that, things fall off pretty fast, as you can see here. And it's even the same with nighttime photography too. And then for video wise, well, you've got 8K at 30 frames per second, what's okay. And then you've also got 4K at 120 frames per second, which is impressive, I'm going to say there. So it's quite good at just kind of standard videos, no zooming or anything like that on that. But then on the iPhone 17 Air side, the rumor is that we're just going to get a single 48 megapixel camera. Probably this is going to be the same main lens that we got with, say, the iPhone 16 Pro series. So it's not going to be an ultra wide, it's not going to be a zoom, it's probably just going to have that 2 times crop ability built into it. And Apple may lean in hard into their AI and processing to clean up photos and things like this. But there again, that is the compromise, what you get for having a super thin phone. But what I am going to say, having a thin phone is not all doom and gloom. And you know, I'd actually say living with the S25 Edge actually has been quite fun. The S25 Edge does feel premium, and yet it's super light. It slides easily into my pocket, and if you hate bulky phones, this is going to feel amazing for you. But the trade-offs are here. Typing for long periods isn't as comfortable. The flat edges can feel sharp here, and the lack of grip might make you nervous holding it over, say, concrete, for example. And I'm going to say expect the iPhone 17 Air in its dummy form at the moment, but I'm sure it'll feel something very similar. It'll be beautiful, but maybe a bit too delicate for some people out there. But I think the best thing I can just do right here, right now, as you're seeing at the moment, this is a comparison to both of these phones. I'm not going to go through all of these details right here, but you can see the differences between them. And this is like what we're expecting with the iPhone 17 Air. I think the biggest things I can see obviously is going to be that it's going to be ever so slightly thinner. Obviously the battery life is going to be way smaller here, and then obviously we're only getting one camera on the back, and that's a 48 megapixel compared to the likes of the 200 megapixel. And I think what you can see from these specs here, that both these phones are about design over specs. You're giving that battery and that camera versatility for thinness. Whether that's worth it, well, I think that depends on you. But I think with that, here's my conclusion with living an ultra thin phone and what to expect with the iPhone 17 Air. If you love ultra thin phones and don't mind charging it once or twice a day, well, the S25 Edge is honestly one of the most beautiful devices out there. And if the iPhone 17 Air follows the same path, well, we're looking at a battle of form over function. They're not for power users, these phones, but they are great for people who appreciate great design and can live with a few compromises. Mainly that, you know, that you are always putting it on charge, and maybe that you don't always use the camera every single day for your main pictures, but it does a good enough job for you. But on that though, guys, let me know what you think. Are you team thin, the new world, or do you prefer thicker phones with bigger batteries and better cameras inside of it? And on that note as well, guys, I'm going to say it's time to wrap up the video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. And as always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and technology, you know, comparisons like we've done today, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.